Ladies and gentlemen, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. God's word is true. He's not a liar. And when he says things are going to happen, folks, let me tell you, they are going to happen. Now, let me just simply say the news item that I'm going to bring up is not a here, it says it right here in the Bible item, but it is one of those things that is pressing us forward in what we understand to be true in Bible prophecy. Now, first of all, let me just tell you, the Bible makes it very, very clear that there are certain nations that are going to be inconsequential in the last days. We don't seem to know of any one nation that will be a superpower other than the conglomerate of nations that we read about in Daniel and, of course, in Revelation. But when we talk about one major superpower, we're really not going to see that in China. We're not going to see that in the United States of America. The United States of America, of course, is going to be inconsequential. And so we know that there will be some major players in the last days. We know Iran is a major player. We know Russia's a major player. Of course, Israel's a major player. We know that there are other nations that surround them that will be major players. So when I read in the news about anything that involves any of those nations, my eyebrows raise just a little bit. And I think about what in the world is going on. Now, this piece of news, unbelievable, right? Secretary of Defense, Secretary Austin, basically issues a warning over Iranian warships that he believes are transporting arms, including fast attack craft, and I'll show you what that means in just a second, across the Atlantic, all the way to what they believe is Venezuela, right? And, of course, he is vowing appropriate action to stop them. I don't know what that means. That could be like the red line that Obama used to talk about. I really don't understand that part, but I can tell you the United States position, militarily speaking, is getting weaker and weaker by the moment because you can have the greatest military force in the world, but if you have a commander-in-chief that's scared to use them, then we've got a bigger issue, right? Or doesn't want to use them, or actually will want to use them, but that's for the military-industrial complex being fueled by the woke industrial complex, which, of course, is part of the corporate industrial complex, but that's a whole other issue. Let's talk about this story for just a second. There's a few things that we know here are really going on. First of all, this Iranian destroyer, Sahand, and the support craft Mahran were said to be 1,000 miles away from Cape Town in the Atlantic as of Thursday, okay? And they're continuing to move in that direction across the Atlantic. By the way, the Iranians are saying that this is just testing the ability of their units to be able to sort of, move through the wavy waters. That's kind of the idea here, but that's absolutely ridiculous. The officials that are looking at this, particularly U.S. officials, are fearing that the ships could be transporting arms to Venezuela, despite the warnings of the United States telling Venezuela, you better turn those ships back. That's actually what they're telling Venezuela. We'll see how that actually works. I don't know if that's even going to work, right? We know that the flotilla actually left the shores of Iran around April 29th, and they are, of course, as Iran would say it, on their longest and most challenging mission yet, right? And it's interesting because, folks, we are watching some things begin to happen that would give us every bit of confidence, again, that God's word is true. Why? Iran is raising up. They are growing in confidence. The foolishness of the United States of America is adding to the confidence in which they're growing. Let me show you what support vessel these people are talking about. This is a pretty interesting picture. I want you guys to be able to see this, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is that support vessel that they were talking about, the Macron. By the way, this is very interesting when you look at it. These are some of the things that have been identified that it carries right now, right? They see an area that's covered, which they have no idea what kind of cargo that has. They're thinking warheads, that kind of a thing. You can see the helipad. You can see what's under it, or what they think is under it. But the thing that's perhaps the most incredibly insightful thing that they were able to capture on picture are these 7 large boats that are on deck. And as you see here, they're believed to be these very fast, very aggressive, destructive vessels, okay? Now, what are they doing with these things? Where are they taking them? There's a lot of unanswered questions here, but the bottom line is Iran is growing in stature. and people are legitimizing them, like Russia. Remember, we're hearing that Russia is flying a lot of their birds over airspace they shouldn't be flying their birds over. They're doing some things that they should not be doing, and the United States of America is remaining eerily silent concerning these things, right? Need I say anything other than Ukraine? Need I say anything other than things like that? Or how about China with what they're doing with Taiwan? The picture that we're looking at here that's being drawn for us is, we know in Ezekiel chapter 38 that there will be an attack that will be upon Israel, with Russia and Iran being friends in that attack. Of course, Turkey, there's many other nations that we talk about. And all of these facts that pertain to the strengthening of the military of Iran and, of course, Russia continue to confirm the fact that we are going in the direction of the last days. We should be thinking about these things. These are things we should be aware of. Yes, this is a very interesting news story. It's one that may not have anything to do with anything that I just talked about, other than the fact that we need to pay attention to the fact that Iran is growing when they should be dwindling, right? Folks, Jesus is coming soon, and we need to keep our eyes open to understand that very fact. We are running out of time, folks, and when we begin to see stories like this, listen, not even a year ago, you would never be allowed to float a vessel like this if you were Iran and you were going towards the United States of America. But things have changed, and the way that they have changed has not been for the better. For us, it's for the better, because I can tell you this, Jesus is coming soon. So hold on to the seat of your pants, folks. A lot more news concerning this stuff is around the corner. I'll talk about some of that tomorrow. God bless you guys. Keep your eyes on him. Just wanted to give you an update on some of the things that are going on. God bless you.